Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so this is the Corsair Platform 6 gaming desktop. We ordered this with, sorry, it's hard to see right there. We ordered this with the extensions for both sides. And this also came with pegboards, which I'm using pegboard on this side of the. Sorry, it's kind of dark in here right now. Let me turn this desk lamp back on. Get a little more light in here. Turn that on. So, like I said, we have the extension over here on this side, and on this side I'm using the pegboard, and because I have a couple headsets and VR set up over here. We also have the spansion arm, which I said right here on going across in this picture. We actually do have that particular arms. We ordered them from Corsair. The problem with these is when you hang two 32-inch monitors, which my son hung two 27-inch monitors, this back arm has a problem with torsion, to where, say, if this was the arm itself, it actually twists forward as weight's applied to one side. That's a big problem because the arms that came with this, we cannot get enough torque on each individual joint to torsion them down enough to keep the monitors free floating. They often would float left and right, trying to find their balance point. We cannot torque those down enough to prevent them from floating around on ourselves. Our solution to that, he decided he did not want this desk, so he gave it to me. I'm trying to get it to work. What we found was their towers right here on the side that mount. You can see this screw hole right here. It's the same on the bottom. So there's a ratcheting handle on a 1/4-inch nut or bolt that locks this tower down to the top. That works fine. The problem that with this desk is they used, you can see in there, those are 90-degree L brackets, T-nut brackets. So they slide down to this T channel and they slide into that T channel, and the tolerances are not tight enough to keep this spansion bar, you see it right there, to keep that spansion bar from twisting. The set screws that are in these T-nuts are the same that are in these L bracket shaped T-nuts. They are not strong enough to keep the desk from the spansion bar from doing this number. It's twisting forward. If we look down this, you can see everything is twisted. It's twisted a good about a 1/4 inch between one side and the other. If I set my phone right on top of this, let me zoom out. I gotta turn off the camera to do this. Let me zoom out. You can see that is a gigantic variance. It's a showstopper for anybody that's going to see this video. That the spansion arm on the back of this cannot handle the torsion of two 27-inch monitors. It was twisting under the weight of Corsair's own mounts and two fairly modern 27-inch monitors. So that's a showstopper. Now, what I use for my monitors, I've used Loctech for a while. There's a high-end, high-quality mount. They don't have a problem with this tilting forward. They're perfectly balanced for these monitors, and they'll torsion enough on each joint to where they won't float away on me. So I really like Loctech monitors arms. This one is another monitor arm that we had that would actually clamp to the spansion bar, and it will float. It will not remain neutral. If I have to move this big 32-inch ultra wide over here to the left, the monitor arm will start doing this number and start swinging back to center, and I can't keep it off from floating around on me. So good quality monitor arms help. I'm going to replace that monitor fairly soon, find something much lighter, probably get another 32-inch Dark Star for Monoprice that were sold out. Second problem I had was the extensions that came with this desk are on brackets. the actual bracket mounts to the desk itself, and that extension has when it came from the factory, it had zero play in the bolt, so whatever they drilled is what you were stuck with. The problem is they did not drill the holes in the bracket square to the actual desk top extension itself, so we had nasty gaps. So if you can imagine the gap right there running all the way down, it was actually wider at the back and it was very tight at the front, and there was no adjustability to it. So what I had to do was I had to take the brackets off the actual extensions, take them into the garage, get the Dremel out, and elongate every one of these holes in the steel itself to give it a little bit of play so you could align that against the desk perfectly. Third problem we had with this desk is all the hardware. The desk is made in China. The base is fairly solid. I'd give it a B minus on craft and skill that went into the making the desk base itself. Welds are sloppy. They look like a first year welder did it. But all the hardware, all the T-nuts, all the bolts, all the set screws, everything that came with the desk was like substandard hardware. We had problems with a lot of bolts stripping out in the T-nuts. That's probably why they send you so much junk. They literally doubled the amount of hardware we had with this desk when we got done with it. I have a box of screws in there that's insane for the amount of hardware they sent for this desk. My son's thoughts was, oh, well, they sent us all the hardware for if you decided to get the extension that went on top. Let me turn the camera off and zoom out. So if we decided to go with this part of the desk as well, he thought they might have just sent us that hardware as well. But that's silly. Why would you do that? So 6 foot wide tabletop and desk wire management and universal stand. So there is some good. Let me go back to get my camera back on. And there is some fairly good wire management options. We haven't got to the point of cleaning up all the wires, but it is fairly nice. But I'm not real happy with the welds. I'm not real happy with the hardware they sent us with it. I do like that. Let me turn off the camera flash. I do like this right here, and we did get we got a power strip that's on the top of the desk. We got a power strip that goes in the bay right here, which I got all my stuff covered up right now. Let's go through some of the other slides I show with this. We did not get the adjustable height. We chose not to do that because really we're going to be sitting at this desk. This is baloney. Once you load 2 monitors on this arm, you are not going to adjust that left and right. You need 2 people to actually synchronously lift the weight off the monitor arms. Mount 2 screens up to 32 inch or 34 ultra wide. 18 pounds per arm. Yeah, these monitors don't weigh 9 pounds. They're not that heavy. They're pretty light. But you will not, once you put this clamp on there and you actually start, you have to tighten from the bottom. There's a set screw on the front and a turn screw on the back. Once you get that to where the monitor arms are not leaning forward, and you have to have 2 people come up, lift up on the bottom of the mount to actually slide it back and forth. If they were smart, they would actually put roller bearings, just like you have on 3D printers. I mean, I have a printer right here. They have these roller bearings just like this. If they would have put those inside those mount arms where you could freely slide that thing back and forth, that'd have been so much better. Let's look at the other slides I have. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I like this. The storage chubby right there. So I have a lot of my cables are going through that port right there, and it's not all over the desk. I like this. I like that. Of course, you pay like $1,000 for this desk. Elgato flex arm devices, which they do give you. We got little screws that came that will actually mount on lead. I'm not sure why it's showing that picture, but yeah, would I buy this desk? Knowing what I know now, let's turn off. Oop, go back to this. Now I can mount a 32, a 32, a 32 ultra wide. My boom mic, my Yeti, my Nikon. I'll think of the name of who makes that sometime later. Manfrotto, I believe. They make that mount so you can do live streaming from your desk using DSLR. Elgato Logitech 920 steering wheel and clip speakers on the corners. With good monitor mount arms, you can use this desk and you won't notice that spansion arm torsioning forward. You can get past that. I am afraid that over time that those little bitty L brackets that are in there, they're aluminum as well, they're not steel, because I try to pick them up with a magnet. The only thing that's steel in that is a set pin. I'm afraid that in time is going to fail. What I plan to do is you can buy a lot of these T-channels, stuff like this, online. You can buy that on Amazon. I'm going to buy a couple short pieces, replace the towers that they have in there, and instead of, as you see on here, on 3D printers, they generally will have bolts go through the T-channels, not setting an L bracket in there. This even on 3D printers, they know that you need a good high torque option on the top of these for the printers to print correctly. They couldn't take that into account when they was building this desk using the same hardware. It's like right here, this 3D printer, it's basically the same piece that's on top of that desk. And even they pass through. They pass through with bolt holes to hold everything together. That's what I'm going to have to do to this top to get that torsion out of the spansion arm, is I'm going to have to rebuild the bottom towers so they can accept a bolt through pattern, and it just seems really silly to me that I'm having to fix their desk for them. But anyways, avoid the Corsair Platform 6 desk unless you want to deal with a lot of sloppy work and headaches. Other people might have better things to say, but I'm honest. I'm 100% honest, especially when I didn't pay for it. My son paid for this desk. I'm just trying to fix the problems in it. But anyways, what he decided to get, as he was fed up with this desk, like literally within a week of it being here. I told him it would cost us an arm and a leg to ship it back, because you know Corsair's not going to pay for shipping. So he opted, okay, Dad, you take the desk, you can work on it and see if you can fix it. And he decided to order a Secret Labs Mangus. That desk is 3 times the quality as you're going to see in this Corsair Platform 6, and they cost roughly the same price, about $1,000 per desk. And his actually has, instead of getting the extensions, I don't think they even offer extensions, but what he did get in his desk was, we've seen that Corsair offered it, but you can get the motorized legs so you can rise up the desk for standing height. And he don't use it very often, but on occasion, just for ships and giggles, he'll use that. So it's pretty cool. And he also, the other cool thing that his desk has that this one does not have, is he was able to get a computer case mount for the leg, so his computer stays off the ground, underneath the desk, out of the way. Where this one, for me, it's taking up desk space. I could actually use that space and the extension more fruitfully than just keeping my computer on top of it. But anyways, it works over there. I don't have to crawl underneath the desk to hook up any cables, which is nice because I'm older. Not a lot of fun doing that. But again, I would totally avoid this desk. Go look at the Secret Labs Mangus. You're going to get a lot higher quality. You won't get an MFD top with Formica. It's actually a steel top with magnetic built into it. So anything you put on top of the desk will stay. And you can actually use magnetic cable routing clamps, which are very nice. He's got them on his desk, and if his room wasn't a sloppy mess right now with new computer parts all over the place, I'd go show you that. So that's actually going to be a follow-up video. So trying to keep this to 15. Y'all have a good one.